know.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you.
What were my options again? Sorry.
Come on.
With Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
Kevin. Don't listen to Steffan and his crap rules. And Steffan.
Pacers versus the Mavs, which is, I believe, is also tonight. Oh, goddamn you, Siri.
Holy shit, dude.
I've never once called you and, actually wanted to talk.
He said Pacers.
Yeah. There's a no-hitter right now. Bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Wow.
You know it's bad when Kevin's correcting people on their pronunciation of names. You know you're in trouble. You, sir, are god-awful.
That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. It's time!
And here we go.
Wait. Trubisky sucks.
What's up? We're back with sound. Maybe. I can't hear you though, so that sucks.
I just forget
boy.
to unmute myself sometimes when I do the open. That had no reason. That had nothing to do with why there was no sound last week. I don't know what happened. Old computer.
That was strange.
But now I can at least, since we do it live, I can check to make sure the audio is recording somewhere, and that somewhere is Facebook. So
Somewhere is Facebook.
yeah. I will say I am a little disappointed because Joe and I had a nice little conversation. It was like half hour long, and then I did like a half hour by myself. Went great. It was, I actually was very surprised at how easy it was to do it by myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I also found myself trying to make sure I didn't sit there and say a lot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was great practice trying not to say because I know that's one of my biggest things I do.
Right.
So I would sit there and be like, I think I changed it from to I would sit there and just start I believe.
Jeez.
Got creative in my ways. But Corey is now officially married, right?
Officially.
Official. I didn't see any pictures of the actual wedding.
Yeah, they haven't posted any. I didn't get to take any because I was at the time in charge of music and stuff, so I didn't take any pictures of the actual wedding. And then when we got to the ceremony or the reception part, I wasn't really taking pictures either, so I just whatever.
I believe they had their honeymoon changed. Corey's no longer beachfront, so we didn't have to worry about that phone call or Skype video.
No. Yep. They went to Nashville instead. They're supposed to go to Hilton Head. Hilton Head got evacuated for good old Hurricane Dorian.
Now, I was thinking about that this week, and I know financially, whatever, I don't know their exact logistics, nor do I care to learn.
Right.
But I'm surprised they didn't make Seattle a destination this week because you got Starbucks, which Sam likes, and then you got Cincinnati losing to the Seahawks on Sunday. I don't know when they get back either, so
They're getting back Saturday.
Oh, all right. See, so it wouldn't have worked out too well. But
No.
I mean,
but I get what
I'm shooting at.
What you're shooting at there, but they were also trying to do something more driving distance, I believe.
Yeah.
That was why they decided to go to Nashville.
Corey
So
did get some Tennessee Titan interviews. Unfortunately, those were not recorded. So
yeah, he'll tell us about it when he gets back, though. He'll give us. He wrote down everything. I'm pretty sure. So we should have some pretty good insider knowledge on what's going on with our beloved Tennessee Titans.
the quarterback situation.
I don't think there is a quarterback situation. Ryan Tannehill is not like he didn't do anything great in Miami. He was always injured.
Mm-hmm.
And Mariota, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I just don't think that there's. I mean, unless Mariota goes out there and just completely stinks.
That would be kind of interesting if Mariota really stinks.
Or if obviously he gets hurt, but I don't see anything changing.
Sorry, I was just triple checking that all the sound was being sent through the internet. Fool me once, shame on me. Fooled me twice, I really hate myself. Third time, never again.
Never again.
All right. Well, last week in my silence, I should have kept the video up. It was kind of interesting. Just see me talking.
Watch you talk.
If you can read lips, you can ask for a copy of the video of the podcast, I guess. Very hard to tell what's going on half the time since, Joe likes to talk a lot. So I was just basically making my normal comments and letting Joe do the rest.
Right.
I will say, before the Liberty game, he was very high on Syracuse to the point where he's saying they're going 11-1.
11-1.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what his take.
So their first loss will come this weekend, and then they're going to beat Clemson at home, and then win out the rest of the way. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do we?
I
have?
like Joe as a college football expert, but I don't like that pick. Sorry.
I mean,
not feeling it.
It'll be interesting to see. I said 10-2, but he was like, "Well, it's hard to see where that second loss comes from." And I listed a couple off, and he was like, "Well, they're all home though. That's the thing. Like, if they were on the road, I'd be a little more worried." But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they were over the line. I mean, they won 24-0. I guess we'll cover it in a little bit. We'll talk. Yeah. Let's not get. We're going down a road that we're not ready to go down.
I had to say that when I left last week, I had this sweet, gigantic spider hanging out in my kitchen, and I had to debate whether I wanted to kill him before I left or kill him when I got back. So I was like, if I come back and he's gone, I'm gonna freak out because I don't know where he is. So I didn't kill him. I came back, and he is now relocated further down. He was above my window. Now he's like in the window right above my air conditioner. And then, so I saw him last night. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. You're still ugly. And I went and I was doing some shit. And then I come back in there. I was like, all right, I got to kill this fucker. I go back in there and he was gone. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, where the hell did he go? So I looked all over and I couldn't find him. I was like, fuck it. I was like, maybe I'll come back tomorrow. I woke up this morning, he's back hanging out there. Now I found out that he crawls up to like this little like, I have like a little like curtain, like little curtains. They're not like full curtain things, but like little ones. And he just goes up there and just chills up there. And then every once in a while he'll come down on his web and just chill on his web. And then he goes back up. So now I know where he's at. I still haven't killed him. Still chilling there.
I like how you have a full, like, do you have a camera pointed on him? Is that how you know all these things?
I just have to constantly monitor him because I don't want him fucking getting away.
Steffan spider monitor. That's a
But,
great.
but he's in like a weird spot, so like I'm afraid that if I do try to kill him, like there's like a lot of distance between him and the actual hard surface of the window.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm somehow gonna fuck it up, and he's gonna fall to the ground, scurry away, and kill me in my sleep, basically. So that's where I'm at right now with my spider situation. So as of right now, he's just hanging out until I come up with a game plan.
You should take a video and just like film what he. The worst is when you go in for the kill and they move and it's like ah.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's when you find out what type of scream
he
you
jumps
got.
at me or some shit. Like that's what I'm expecting. I'm only 8,000 times bigger than this thing, but I'm still fucking terrified. But yeah, so that's that situation.
I got to watch her spider build the web over a 2-day span in front of my doorbell. That was cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking like amazing, like to watch, but then you fucking lose track of them, man. Especially if they're in your house, like that's just freaky.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, I ain't trying to fuck around with all that. All right, what do we got here for this week? Last week's question: will the Super Bowl champion come from the West? So that includes the AFC West as well as the NFC West. So that includes what? The Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, or the Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks.
Very good.
Off the top of my head, how do you like that? Do we have a final result of that?
It's not final, still 22 hours to vote, so if you want to change the outcome as is, folks, you still have time to change this right now. We are at 36% yes, 64% no. Just had the list.
60% no. Yep, that's where I'm at.
And pretty much everyone else. Corey did not vote. Thanks, Corey.
Of course he did. Of course he did. To be fair, though, he's been busy.
Hey, if he's got time to send us pictures of Tennessee Titan things, he's got time to click yes or no.
Yeah, but I mean, that happened last week, so he probably just forgot about it, hasn't seen it again, type of deal. Out of sight, out of mind kind of thing going on there.
Let's be honest, Corey probably doesn't even know how to use Facebook.
That too. He barely goes on it, so.
Mm-hmm.
This week's question. I see that you changed it up from your original.
Yeah,
You were brainstorming with us.
I can't put. I'm trying to make it as competitive as possible.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm done trying to seek for that perfect one because there's always one person that I don't like that ruins it for me. So, always one person. So this week we're going with: do you like pumpkin spice? Yes or gross? I believe is what the other option was.
That is the other option.
Right now we're at a outstanding 80% yes. And of course, once again, someone I hate voted no. So 5 votes in. 2 of them consist right here. That's why anyone that votes no, I'm going to probably unfriend you because I don't want you in my life if you don't like pumpkin spice. Just saying. That's not true.
I don't understand how you can not like pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got into the whole like, well, are they coming out with a pumpkin spice White Claws? Because that would be amazing. We'll see. I mean, money sells. hotcakes, Popeye sandwiches, and pumpkin spice White Claws. You know, a lot of people think that would be gross. I would enjoy it.
I would definitely try it.
You know, I thought about getting some of the pumpkin spice syrup from Starbucks, taking one of those pure White Claws and pouring it into combining it.
Doing what?
I may have a way to get pumpkin spice sauce and then just take the unflavored White Claws, combine them, then try pumpkin spice White Claws.
That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. All right, you wanna get this college football over with? I just got.
I was still thinking about the pumpkin spice White Claw, but
sorry.
all right,
We'll put that on hold. Go vote now. I already know where Joe's vote is going, so we don't need to.
Went on this weekend.
What's that?
So some college football went on this weekend.
A little bit.
A little bit.
We finally have football. That's all I care about.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Wow. Hold on. He sent me another text. What did he say? And if I make it home. Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Let's try him one more time. Oh, there we go. Why, hello, Joe. How are you?
Just wonderful.
Swell. College football has been played. NFL football is near. And Steffan is questioning your college footballness with your 11-1 pick from last week.
He's doing what now?
He's questioning your 11-1 Syracuse record prediction.
Give it time.
Give it time. They had time. From what I heard, I didn't watch the game, but I heard they didn't look so impressive against Liberty.
One third of the ball. 1/3 of the ball. And only one part of that 1/3 didn't look impressive. So, not too concerned.
All right. I don't know if it equates to an 11-1 season, but we'll see. You got to get it together early.
And I don't know if it was a solid prediction. I said it's usually 8-4 to 11-1, but I was going with my gut at 11-1.
Fair enough.
Well, we all picked Syracuse last week, so none of us got that wrong. So Steffan didn't bite on that one for me last week. And then Steffan and I got Auburn over Oregon. Oregon was up 21-6, I believe, at one point. Blew that lead. Did you catch any of that game, Joe?
I did, and I thought Auburn had it under control. They looked like the more dominant team, and fell asleep. Woke up the next morning and saw that Auburn came back. Auburn came back and won that game, and was kind of shocked. Auburn did not look good in the first half.
Yeah, they looked kind of sluggish, and then it was just like something clicked, and Oregon couldn't solve anything offensively towards the later half of the second half there. Steffan's only one wrong last week. I kind of like Steffan's color coding, though. It went orange, blue, gray, blue, orange. So good job there, Steffan. He went with BYU. The rest of us took Utah. So apparently doesn't know his Utah football.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know my
Uh,
football all that well.
the game I really want to talk about, though, is the Florida State-Boise State game. Boise State was down. I can't even remember the score, but Florida State's had a big lead and blew it. And head coach Taggart is blaming hydration and fitness as the reason why they lost in Florida State.
Be coaching, basically. You didn't prepare them to go out and play that game.
Yeah. He won't be there next year. Holy cow. If you're not properly trained and hydrated week one, you're screwed.
Let alone
Yeah.
it's your home. Like, I could see maybe if you traveled a little bit, but it's a home game. Like, you should have every advantage.
Apparently they ran out of water or something. I don't know. People were freaked out about the hurricane or something. Maybe they ran out of water. I don't know.
I will say that gives me hope with Syracuse going down to Florida State later on this year, considering Boise State ran off like 104 plays, I believe, on offense, and Florida State only had the ball 19 minutes. So that looks well for Syracuse, at least with the strong defense that they're showing so far. And then we go Virginia Pitt. Virginia won 30-14. I was the only one to take Pitt, unfortunately, there. But before we move on to this week's picks, I was just curious. Georgia State beat Tennessee. Iowa State struggled with Northern Iowa. I mean, a lot of these bigger programs are struggling with smaller teams. Is this just because it's early season, or do we think Tennessee just probably made a bad coaching move after their 7th head coach?
I think Tennessee they're just a dumpster fire. Really don't know what they have going on there, and Georgia State took advantage of a good situation. I think, a lot of times it's hard with some of these unknown teams, FCS teams, people look past them or you don't have a lot of tape on them and you may not be able to game plan well enough. But hats off to Georgia State for, getting that win. Wow. I mean, yeah, I think that coach should be fired already.
Yeah. And one going towards your heart there, Jalen Hurts had a really impressive showing with Oklahoma. Is this starting to show that it's a system, not the quarterback necessarily?
No, I think it's the quarterback. I mean, I don't think it's the same system. I think, Jalen Hurts found success at Alabama. He was 13-2, 14-2 as a starter. 20 of 23. Pretty good numbers. Rushing numbers were good. I think, really excited to see what he did Sunday night. He played a really well football game, all around, rushing the ball, making good decisions. And I'm excited for Oklahoma. I'm excited for him, and I really would love to see Oklahoma get a chance to play Alabama in the playoff.
You want to throw down a Heisman Trophy, 3rd in a row for Oklahoma, or too soon?
Too soon.
Fair enough. I mean, he only got 6 touchdowns in one game. No big deal.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I think sometimes the Heisman's predetermined prior to the season. I think people are, already set. I mean, even with his numbers, it's going to be Tua and Trevor Lawrence as the front runners for pretty much the entire year, unless Jalen just keeps on doing ridiculous things like this.
Yeah. Be kind of interesting to see the 3 of them in New York City for the Heisman Trophy presentation, like with Hurts and Tua.
I'd like to see them throw down. It's a tie. You guys need to fight for it.
All right, let's get into some picks this week. We got Syracuse at Maryland, 9 o'clock Pacific time, noon Eastern, ESPN. First of 2 big network games in a row for Syracuse. They're going down to Maryland. Maryland thumped. I don't even remember who they played. 79-0.
Howard.
There you go. No nothing team at home. So they got to meet in the middle somewhere. One of these defensives has to give up a touchdown somewhere, right? Or a field goal.
Syracuse wins.
Syracuse wins. All right. And Steffan's taking Maryland. So
Top dog. I can take that gamble if I need to.
Steffan, can you copy and paste for me? Mine's freezing. All right, we got Texas A&M, Clemson, the big showdown this weekend. Clemson. 17 and a half
give
point.
you guys my picks real quick. Want to get inside and see how my daughter's first day was.
Oh yeah, no worries. We got LSU, Texas.
Oh, that's going to be a great game. Great game. I love that O, so I'm going to give it to LSU.
Great minds think alike.
And Nebraska, Colorado.
I know Nebraska had a not so well showing, but they're going to win Nebraska.
All right. And then Stanford, USC.
Stanford's quarterback's questionable. Still going to go Stanford.
Ooh. All right.
Still going Stanford?
What was
Is that what he said?
He's going with Stanford, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll let you get to Lily. Tell her I say hi.
Will do.
All right. Take care, Joe.
Take care, Joe.
All right. I don't like how it does that. I wish there was a way to mute that.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
All right. Let's see here. Corey and I are taking Texas. Colorado is... I'm the only one taking Colorado. Apparently, I was the only one not impressed with Nebraska's showing last week. And Steffan either possibly growing his lead or starting his trail of
trend back
teals.
down. I don't know what's going on. We'll see.
Hey, if this works out, you look like a genius. So
I know. I picked the USC one because of the questionable Stanford quarterback.
Well, I thought USC lost their quarterback. That's why I took Stanford.
Did they? I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah,
so.
I thought he's out for the season. So maybe I heard wrong, and maybe it was the Stanford guy. Let's do a quick look before these are in stone.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then I might switch that up.
I actually wrote it down to look it up. Just never happened. ESPN. Yeah, I will say it's quite nice to have football back. I mean,
it does say 3 days ago, USC sophomore quarterback JT Daniels will miss the rest of the season after tearing ACL and meniscus.
Yep. See?
So now they have a freshman quarterback.
Kedon Slovis. I don't like anyone that sounds like they're a foreign name, so.
Let me see what kind of stats this man had.
Well, he's
played
a freshman, so. Is he a true freshman?
Oh.
Yes.
6'8" for 57 yards, no touchdowns, interception.
No. Yeah, he's a true freshman. Out of Scottsdale, Arizona. See, I told you, he's foreign. Probably crossed the border from Mexico. 1 interception, 57 yards in the game against whoever they played. Fresno State. Yeah, that was a close one. So
Yeah.
stick with my pick.
Take a look at Stanford real quick. I'll let you know if I want to change it.
Well, right now ESPN has USC 61.1% favored still. So I'm telling you, I think I'm gonna switch to ESPN after this week.
I'm gonna keep my pick. Fuck it.
Go with your gut.
Yeah.
That way you don't doubt. At least.
Then I'll be pissed if all of a sudden USC does win.
Yeah. I think it's a worse feeling if you change your pick and what you had is what happened versus, well, what if I just picked this?
I mean, at this point, it's both teams have backup quarterbacks basically playing. So unless Costello is able to play.
That one's Saturday night on ESPN. That'll be the last game of the night, I'm guessing. Usually that's how that works in the Pac-12. So, and then next week, hopefully we have 2 undefeated teams going into Syracuse. Make that matchup just a little more interesting. Just a little bit. More on the line means more, right? All right. I will say I do take compliment to Joe with the fact that he hates pumpkin spice, everything pumpkin spice, except my pumpkin spice beer. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yours is the only one.
So what, did he vote?
He's probably going to vote no.
Yeah.
That's why he's the only exception. I won't unfriend him. All right. Did I miss anything I wanted to cover? Oh, Nebraska beats South Alabama by 14 at home. I was not too impressed with them. I don't know. I'm just a little not on the Frost train yet for Nebraska. Give me one more game. Maybe we'll see what happens against Colorado. Colorado's a pretty good team. They're like, well, not. I guess I shouldn't say they're a pretty good team. They're better than average team, so it's a good way to tell which way the scale's going for Nebraska, I think.
I just talk Nebraska because I'm not like 100% sold on Colorado either.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm just saying like
I feel like that's a 50-50 game. It could go either way.
I just didn't like how they looked against a South Alabama team at home.
Right.
That's the one that concerns me. Like, if Syracuse struggled with Rhode Island at home, like they have in years past, that's when I'd be like, all right, let's get the alarm bells.
Yeah.
But a 24-0 win at Liberty, I'm not too worried about. Like, you got a young quarterback. He just needs to learn not to make stupid decisions sometimes, and it's just part of the growing pains. I think he does at least throw a touchdown pass in this game. Hopefully, fingers crossed. He went 0-2, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last game. So the fact that they're still able to win 24-0, they at least have a running game. So
right.
There was
their defenses.
There was one thing Joe and I talked about last week, which was one of the wide receivers and how good he looked in the bowl game against West Virginia last year, because he's a transfer and he couldn't play during the regular season, but he could play in the bowl game, so he did. He's from Michigan State. I keep forgetting his last name. It starts with a J. It's like Jackson or Johnson, something like that.
Well, there's a Jackson and a Johnson.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can't narrow it down. He's from Michigan, so if you can tell from that one.
Are you going to click on him?
But,
well, Johnson is from Washington, D.C.
No, he's from Michigan because he's transferred from Michigan State, too. That's how I recognized him when I was looking at the roster. Either way, he looked good in the bowl game, but
Jackson's from Michigan.
There you go, Jackson.
He's in too.
He just was off with DeVito, and hopefully, because they said they looked good in practice, it was just butterfly thing. Yeah, first game together, actually out on the field for both guys in a real meaningful game. Because bowl games, yeah, you want to win for pride, but I feel like they're, especially for West Virginia didn't really put like a competitive team between Greer leaving early and other players resting for the draft. So I would guess we'll have to wait to find out with Maryland. I'm not. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to expand upon because I didn't really watch the Maryland game. I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention to it. I had too many other games I was watching. So
it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a good game though. That's all we got for college football.
Yeah.
Move on to, you want to touch on some NASCAR, or you want to go right into NFL?
I can touch on some NASCAR. Do you want to touch on NASCAR?
Huh?
Do you want to touch on NASCAR? That's the question.
Yeah, because I'm confident in my last pick. I'm good.
You hope?
I'm good. It's going to bring me the victory that I desperately needed.
You know, I'm not going to lie with this pick. All right, so long story short, Darlington, I think, had a rain delay for like 7 hours, I feel like.
Yeah.
It didn't finish until at least, like 10:30 my time, so I can only imagine.
It's definitely past midnight.
Yeah. I woke up and Corey had already updated the scores, I believe.
Scores, actually.
You did?
I woke up early that morning, and I was like, oh, I don't know who won the race. And I was like, fuck.
I had seen Stenhouse was like 11 laps back when I went to sleep, and Wallace Jr. was competing with Ty Dillon. What was funny was I was going to send you guys a picture. I'm glad I didn't, because it turned out that one point in the Bristol race, all three of our drivers were together that we had picked for Darlington. So I was like, oh, look, we're all 1, 2, 3. Like, and then I didn't send it for one reason or another. And then I tuned in and realized that, that was a rain delay. So they were showing last week's race because they had DiBenedetto like in first place. And I was like, oh man, he's just tearing it up ever since he found out he's not going to be able to race next year. Like,
right.
He still had an impressive showing, so it's not a bad pick. It's going to suck if he crashes for you, but I mean, that's with all of our picks at this point. So you got to do what you got to do. I'm surprised Corey didn't take him when he had the chance, but he was sold on Menard.
I was like, oh, he hasn't even taken him yet.
Yeah, so we'll see.
But I feel like Menard is like more of a, let's see, you got 16, 23. I don't know. I feel like Menard's more of like a consistent, like 10 to 20, anywhere in that range.
Yeah.
25. So maybe I think he's more or less just trying to play it safe. Plus, I think he just kind of, I don't know what his mindset was.
Well, if you watch episode 135, you can find out because you made it then. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Me and him both kind of locked in our picks 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know you guys had locked him in. And I was kind of.
I'm just hoping that you don't get 41 with DiBenedetto.
Well, not expecting 41, but if I can get a solid 30 out of him, I'd be happy.
I'll be happy if I get more than 17 with Dylan, since you two both got 17.
All right.
Unless DiBenedetto crashes and you only get 1 point, and then I'm fine with 17.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like this is the closest all three of us have been at the end.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end, I guess.
I feel like usually somebody's like, it's either two of us are like pulled away and just kind of competing for the last, like the top spot, or
two of us are competing not to finish in last.
Right.
I think for the last 2 years, that's how it's gone. Usually see, I think I was involved in the first year with not finishing in last, trying to beat Corey. And then last year, Corey was just trying to catch up with you. And I think he took a gutsy call in his last week, too, that ended up killing him because I think he only got 1 point or something. We'd have to look up last year.
McDowell.
Yeah. So, saving all of mine for next week when they go to Las Vegas, and when I try to accomplish what I tried to accomplish last year, which is from worst to first.
I thought you were going to try to get second, though. So
No, actually,
if you're looking ahead of going from worst to first.
If you remember correctly, when I picked Priest, I said I didn't even care. I'm done with NASCAR's regular season, and I've accepted I'm going to finish in last.
Yeah, but you can't sit here and say that you're not thinking about finishing in second now.
You know, I can because
you know how much easier it is to come back from 50 than it is to come back from 100.
I just don't want to get my hopes up and be severely disappointed. So I'm happy with thinking I'm going to finish in last. Anything better is an accomplishment in my mind.
It'll be interesting. That's this weekend, right? That race?
I believe so. Usually they only take off when there's like a holiday or something. So
right. Yeah, I know they had a break in between Bristol and Darlington. So
yeah,
I don't think they have another break. So we should be able to find out by Sunday, hopefully. If it's a Sunday race, I don't know.
We should probably do an audit since Corey did most of the scoring this year. And the last time he did that,
fucked it all up.
Let's see here. Yeah, Darlington was last week, so this week Brickyard 8. So yep, this Sunday. And then they got 15, 21, 29. Doesn't look like there's a pause until...
Just goes right to Las Vegas?
To Miami. All the way to Miami.
Wow.
We got, 10, 11 weeks of racing. I
feel confident. I think I can get my 3-peat still.
I'm just glad it didn't go where to where. That's all I care about.
Next year. It was too soon for me. I'm not there yet.
You kind of sputtered at the end there.
I did. I haven't had a winner. I mean, in the beginning, I was looking great. And then Jimmy Johnson was the last time I had a winner.
Mm-hmm. And then you've only had 130 in the last, since then, too. Or since Logano. So in the last 10 races. You were consistently 30s.
Been a rough stretch. Some of my big name guys did not do so hot. Keselowski, Elliott. Stenhouse, I don't even call a big name anymore. He's a fucking bum.
See, I think that's what makes me dangerous in the chase always, is I seem to at least have a grasp every other week of who's going to be towards the top. And then for some reason I hiccup every other week. So I think that's why I was able to make it a chase at the end.
Right.
God, how many did I get right? One or win?
You picked a bunch of winners.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 11 of the 27, right? Or winners, I should say. Won that week, I should say. There you go. And then 3 winners overall before we even had... I don't think we had one last year or the year before. And Corey and I both got 1, and then I got 2 more. Maybe that's how you're going to... Di Benedetto is going to win it, and you're going to make it perfect for the podcast. Everyone picked a winner.
I don't know about that.
I'm just trying to jinx
nice.
you.
It'd be a nice way to ride out.
Just trying to jinx you at this point. So
I feel like Di Benedetto has the least to lose. He's trying to somebody to pick him up on their team. So fucking ball out. Do what you gotta do.
Win or go home.
Yeah. Fuck it. I don't care if he crashes. As long as he fucking just goes balls to the wall. Actually, I do care if he crashes. Give me 30 points, please. All right. Moving on to the NFL.
Does that start this week?
It not only starts this week, Kevin. It starts tomorrow night. The greatest game to be played.
I don't know about tomorrow night's game.
Well, I just mean sport. Sport. The greatest sport to be played in our lifetime.
Greatest business. How about that? 'Cause you're not too big of a fan of the college football aspect of the sport.
Well, no, I am.
I mean, you weren't in the Alliance of American Football, or
because it's not the same product. It's
the same sport,
but it's not as exciting. Not the best of the best. I want to see the best of the best. Okay, that's all I want to see.
The best of the best of the best.
Week 1 starts tomorrow night. Also beginning many of our fantasy football leagues. Who we got? Bears. Somebody.
Beats.
Vikings. Who?
Beats. Battlestar Galactica.
Who are the Bears playing? Packers.
There you
right.
go. I was just seeing it. You came up with the NFC West and AFC West.
I know.
The two teams that have been in the NFL since the very beginning.
No. Which I feel like it's like, don't they usually do the first game as like the defending Super Bowl champion, I thought?
Usually, but either depending on who you ask. If you ask Patriot fans, it's because Roger Goodell hates the Patriots. If you ask the NFL office, they're saying it's because it's the 100th season celebration.
Mm.
I
believe the NFL office more.
I mean, the Patriots are getting a Sunday night game, so.
Right.
I think it's safe to say our preseason picks are the same as our week picks this week. So.
At least week 1, yeah. So I went through and I just looked again. I was like, just in case something changed in my heart. And I was like, no, everything. I'm still sold on all my picks there. Week 2 will be different, probably.
Yeah.
Change it up a little bit.
Still got to go through and tally.
I know. I gotta go finish. I gotta finish that today.
I finished it, but I did not tally anything. I was like, wait until like Sunday or something.
Right. Trying to decide if I want to get red zone or not.
Decisions.
How much is? It's not that much either, right? It's like $50 or something.
I don't know. I have Sunday ticket.
You get red zone with that too, don't you?
Yeah. I got a student discount too, so it's like $40 a month for 3 months.
I was thinking about doing the Sunday ticket, but I mean, every other week I'm not gonna be able to watch. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of pointless.
Like $3.50.
Like if I was gonna be able to watch every week, it'd be one thing, but
yeah.
So I figured maybe just get red zone.
We'll talk more off air if you want some insider info on how to get games without Sunday ticket.
I mean, I usually find ways to, but
I was gonna say it's a lot like UFC fighting.
Yeah, or I just go to the bar.
Yeah, there's that too. You can
That's usually my.
You can take the legal
when
way out.
When all
Jeez,
fails, I just go to the bar.
Take the legal way and.
But yeah, there was some little bit of action this week. Some people finally got their extensions before the season started. Zeke is now the. So is he? What is he getting paid annually? Did that? Like, I know he's getting what, 6 years, $90 million. I don't know what that comes out to.
Average salary of $14.375 million a year.
And what was Gurley getting? He was
I
getting 14 something.
have no idea. They both have the same amount guaranteed, which is $45 million.
No, Zeke has 50 million guaranteed.
No, it's 45.
Oh,
I think.
I saw 50.
Yeah, there was conflicting reports.
I guess there's also like some clauses in there where if he screws up, he loses guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Basically.
Looking, let's see here. It says Zeke said was not long after his because I am the best since signing a 6-year, $90 million extension that includes $50 million guaranteed, according to sources. Had earlier they had been saying $45 million. Who knows? It's somewhere. Gurley was $14,375 a year. It doesn't say. The details won't come out until like next week. They're saying the exact details.
Either way, the dude finally got paid.
It's good for my fantasy team.
I think it's good for a lot of fantasy teams that drafted him highly. You drafted him really high, didn't you?
I took him third.
Yeah.
I needed a solid running back. I never usually go after a running back early. The one time I did, I had the highest scoring team. So.
Yeah. It's not a bad pick.
Yeah. All right, I found it. So, breaking down the 8-year, $102.9 million deal. He got a signing bonus of $7.5 million. His base salary this season will be $752,000. So he's still on his rookie contract, technically speaking. $6.8 million due to him next year, and then interesting. So none of this is guaranteed. So $28 million was due at the signing of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
After 2020, which is also coincidentally the year of, I can't remember the exact wording, but basically when the union contract expires with the NFL,
right?
They have a $13 million option bonus. And then from basically that, they have the option of continuing on with the re-signing. So that's how they worked it out. Now it's all making sense. So if he messes up in the next 2 years, they can cut and run, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And it looks like only the first 2 seasons of that is guaranteed after the 5th day of the league year. So they can cut him up until that 5th day and get out of the contract as well. So if they do pick up his $13 million, that's an interesting way to work it. I'm not going to lie. I know they kind of wanted to make sure they had some kind of security with his off-the-field issues. So
Right.
quite creative. I will give that to the Cowboys at least.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
If he were to continue on with the Cowboys till 2026, he would be making $16.6 million at 29 years old.
Damn. A hell of a payday.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of
29.
well, it's kind of funny how it works. So at the beginning of the extension, he's $9.6 million, 12.4. Then it goes down 10.9, and then 10, and then it goes back up 15.4 and 16.6. So it's lucrative sounding, but it looks like they can cut him after 2023 with no issues if they need to. So
Right.
Which makes sense. A running back's lifespan is until about 30 years old anyway, so. Unless you're Frank Gore, who has 9 lives.
or Emmitt Smith, who was a running back for like 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because I feel like Frank Gore. I don't know if that Singletary is going to be. I saw. Did you pick up Frank Gore? I saw somebody pick up Frank Gore.
I did not pick up Frank Gore, to my knowledge.
Somebody picked up Frank Gore. Maybe it was Matt or something. I don't know.
I think I may have looked at something and maybe I clicked on it and was like, if I get him, I get him. If I don't, I don't.
Oh, maybe.
It was
somebody definitely picked him up. I can't remember who. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched, and I'll get into my Bills minute next week, but I haven't watched too much of Buffalo action. So I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of hype around this Singletary guy, but I'm surprised. That's another thing we got to talk about is Bills letting go LaShawn McCoy this past week.
I didn't think you wanted to do Bills minute.
Well, I don't. It's just
we can't cover it unless it's in the Bills minute. That's the whole.
It's a general thing. It's just a general thing. It's general. Like I cover all teams. That's what we do. And this just happens to be a little bit on the Bills.
I thought we had agreed. Oh, I did pick up Frank Gore, by the way. There you go.
You did?
Yeah, I was the one.
I thought it was you. I was like...
Well, when you asked, I sat there and I was like, I haven't even looked at it. And then I was like, oh, wait, I did look at it one day. I remembered the 49ers put the guy drafted on IR, and I was like, I'll just cut him. And then I was like, I'll just cut him, have an open spot. That way I can mess with it at the beginning of the season. And then I saw Frank Gore as a waiver claim, and I was like, and this was before McCoy got released, and I was just like, oh, God. Like, for some reason, it just stuck out in my head. I was like, I gotta just throw my hat in the ring and see what happens. And sure enough, apparently I picked him up on the 31st. Well done.
Well done.
I feel confident. That's something we haven't talked about. Our fantasy. Well, I talked about it because I said I was going to win the league, but no one could hear because apparently when you don't have sound, no one listens.
I don't think we've had a podcast, or at least I haven't been on a podcast.
No, we haven't. So, so let's see here. I have Rivers. I kept Rivers.
You want to finish talking about this shit, and then we can talk about fantasy football?
Fine.
I just don't want to jump around all over the place. So, Sean McCoy got dropped by the Bills. Very surprising, especially with the GM was talking all the beginning of the year that he was their guy. And from the sounds of it, he was still their guy, but basically wasn't going to be the only guy. And I don't think McCoy wanted to do a running back by committee, which now he's on a team where he's going to be running back by committee anyways. So I don't know what his big issue was there. But I do believe he is now on a team that at least he has a chance to go for a Super Bowl. So that might have enticed him a little bit.
Ooh, maybe next week's Bills Minute. Steffan's thought on if. Do you at least want to hear the countdown clock?
No, because I'm going to be done talking about him in 2 seconds. Because I'm actually talking about two teams. I'm talking about the Bills and the Chiefs. So it's not really the Bills Minute. So yeah, I think it makes the Chiefs running back situation pretty interesting. I mean, I wasn't sold on any of the running backs they had. So adding LaShawn McCoy to the mixture definitely makes them look a little more intriguing to me. I know some other people are high on the Kansas City running backs before McCoy. There was rumors that he was also going to go back to Philly, which he did not, obviously. I thought it would have been pretty cool. To bring everybody back, basically.
We won, so let's bring everybody on.
Bring back everybody that Chip Kelly sent away.
Screw you, Chip. How you doing at UCLA?
But yeah, I mean, McCoy's he's what, on his upper 20s now. He's going to be on I mean, last year was his worst year in the league. I think he only rushed for like 500 or 600 or maybe 700 yards. I mean, I don't know if that was more to do with the Bills' offensive line or if it's just him actually starting to decline.
He's 31.
31. Oh, so he's in his 30s already. So we will see. We'll see if he's still got anything left in the tank and how much the Chiefs actually use him. You saved that Bills minute till next week, you son of a bitch.
I at least played the horn. You gotta at least admit that's a good ending. That way you know when it's coming.
It was kind of faint though. Play it again.
I gotta rewind. Yeah, I didn't want it.
The film got pulled up. Don't worry about it.
No, I have it pulled up. I just gotta rewind to the horn because it ends and then it's quiet.
Oh. Okay.
Like I didn't want it too loud to sit there and be over your voice. So.
Yep. No, that should work.
Unless
I'm like really into it, then I might.
Maybe I should share the screen, that way you can at least see the time, you know where you're at too.
Right. But yeah.
You saved that.
Goff also signed an extension this week. I don't know the details on it.
100-something million guaranteed. Basically the richest contract ever.
Yeah. So he's set for multiple lives if he ever comes back as something else.
Let's see here. What was the deal?
I mean, does this set up Dak to get
110 million guaranteed?
Jesus. Does this set Dak up to get the next richest contract, or?
I don't think so. I don't think he gets the richest now. I think that ship has sailed. If he had signed before Ezekiel Elliott, I would have said more than likely. But now that deal's gone, also depends. Dallas is signing people left and right to these long-term contracts, getting them out, at least, money-wise. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they don't want to sign Dak and see what happens. Like,
I don't think they need to sign Dak. I mean, he's definitely a good quarterback. You know, he can manage the game for you. I don't think he can win it on his own. Mm-hmm. Like having Zeke there, Zeke's going to be there for the next 8 years, however many years. Mm-hmm. And having Dak there next to him, like I think Dak would be successful and probably go down as one of the better quarterbacks in Cowboys history. Mm-hmm. But do I really think he deserves that kind of money? No. But they like to pay people. They like to pay these quarterbacks. I feel like every time the next quarterback that's up is the richest quarterback in the history. So, you know, it's just constantly next man up. All right, you're the richest now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do find out a way to extend him. I don't know. I don't think he's worth it, but I think you could bring in somebody else for way cheaper and get the same results.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And I know Jerry Jones is probably very upset about how much money he just had to spend on Zeke because he does not like to pay that kind of money. So I can see him trying to pinch some pennies going forward.
So long as he has a show, I think that's all he cares about.
That's right. This next thing, I don't really know much about this, so I'm going to have you talk about it a little bit. Cardinals.
Oh, this came out on ESPN today. I believe Kingsbury, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, was at a press conference, and he said that he is still trying to get a read on his starting quarterback, Kyler Murray. It's kind of interesting topic, coming from the number 1 draft pick overall and your starting quarterback. You picked him and got rid of the last year's number 1 draft pick, and you don't have a read on him. I found it interesting. That's why I threw it in.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think, like, all right, you just had all of the offseason, all of preseason.
You said he was a great quarterback when you were a college coach.
Yeah, he coached him in college, right? I thought that was the whole point. Yeah.
Way back.
Everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna draft Murray," and he was like, "No, like I'm happy with Rosen or whatever," and then he went and drafted Murray anyways.
That's right. Murray transferred to Oklahoma from Texas A&M when Kingsbury was, I believe, the head coach of Texas A&M. So it's all coming back to me now. Yeah. So yeah.
So it's not like he hasn't gotten a lot of fucking chances to evaluate him. Like, what more do you want to get a read on the guy?
Does
he got to play his whole NFL career first? Like,
if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, like, that's just like, what do you sit there, you're a little hype.
I feel like if he didn't have a read on him before the draft, like, he should have not drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you obviously saw something in him that you're like, yeah, let me bring him in.
Yeah.
So to now be months after that and still not know what you have with him, okay, makes sense.
It's just mind-boggling too, because it's. I would understand a little more if you were like a coach, first time in the NFL. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Kingsbury was the offensive coordinator, which makes this statement even worse, because that means he had even more time with Kyler Murray. Like,
right.
So it's like, what do you mean you're still trying to figure him out? Like, you had him.
I don't know. I feel like this Cardinals season is just gonna be a disaster.
Yeah, and if you're a Cardinals fan and you see this, it's just like, why even bother? Like, that from an owner standpoint, are you just like ramming your head against the wall at this point? Like, even our head coach doesn't even know what to expect from our starting quarterback. But yeah. Come buy season tickets. Like, you kidding me?
I just feel like Murray is that kind of quarterback that probably shouldn't get thrown right into a starting position and give him like a few years to develop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then see what you got with him then. But I mean, they don't have anybody for him to really play behind. So
they got rid of the only guy he could have played behind, and it
right.
would have been...
Yeah, like, I don't know why you don't just hang on to Rosen, let Rosen play. Rosen starts sucking, then you go, okay, let's put in Kyler Murray and see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would have, like, why would that have been a big deal? I don't know.
Who knows?
Unless, like, Rosen was, like, demanding a trade, which I never heard anything about that, but...
No, I think they were just looking to free up some money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's always about them bills.
It looks like you got is this some Antonio Brown news right here?
Yeah, Antonio being Antonio. He ended up getting fined for a bunch of things he did on the off season. Let me pull that up. He ended up Instagramming a picture of the fines he got from the Raiders. He got fined $54,000 in total for missing time during camp, and Brown's response was, when your own team want to hate, but there's no stopping me now. Devil is a lie. Everyone got to pay this year, so we clear.
Is that English? Like, what the fuck's
Yeah, let's see here. He got fined $13,950 for missing a walkthrough on August 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he was there in Winnipeg. It was before a preseason game, the preseason disaster in Winnipeg. Did you hear about that game, by the way?
Yeah, they shortened the field or whatever.
Yeah. Just dumpster fire once again by the NFL and stadium they're not used to playing. So good job there. And then also when the GM gave Brown that ultimatum on the 18th, he got fined $40,000 there. So needless to say, at least he made the helmet thing work out for him, and now he's just got a sponsorship out of the Zenith Shadow. So
right.
I don't know. Gruden sees something in him, so hopefully it works out for him this year. But it's the Raiders; they're cursed for life.
I'd like to see them be successful. They just never are. I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see. I feel like this Antonio Brown experiment is not going to last that long. It just doesn't seem to be going all that well. But I don't know. You're
at a loss for words.
I am. It's not something that's unexpected because you get these wide receivers, and we all know the stereotypical, prima donna wide receivers that everything's about them. It's all about, their stats. It's all about their money. It's all about, them getting their way, them saying what they want to say. And he's basically just like another T.O., like another Chad Johnson, like you're so fucking good. But if you would just shut your mouth and just fucking play football and not be a fucking dumbass, you could go down, you could be a Jerry Rice. But no, you're going to end up just being known as fucking another T.O. who had great numbers, but now nobody wants him in the Hall of Fame because he was a fucking jackass. That's all I got to say about him. I would still draft him on my fantasy teams.
We want to talk about the matchups before we talk about our fantasy teams.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're all going. Let's just go right in order here. We're all going Bears tomorrow. Rams Sunday with the Eagles and Jets. We also all picked the Browns. Then we got a little funky. Corey's going with the Vikings versus the Falcons. Even though he says it's hard for a team to win on the road, he believes the Falcons can get the job done. Oh, wait. No. Excuse me. Other way around.
Wait a second.
Corey's going with his saying. Steffan and I are going. Corey messed me all up. I got to go through and fix his picks because he put all his in the season picks and, erased his preseason column. I think he just, I don't know what he did. So I got to go through and fix that. Ravens, Dolphins. Corey's going with the Dolphins over the Ravens. It's kind of a interesting one.
Liking the home teams this week, it looks like.
Chiefs, Jaguars.
Basically all home teams except for two.
Corey's picking the upset of the century with the Jags over the Chiefs in week 1. So high hopes. What? Apparently the Jags are his new favorite team this year. He's taking over your spot.
I'm not even that high on him this year. I'm glad it's on that one.
The 4:00 games, we're all agreeing on the Chargers, Seahawks, Bucks, and Cowboys. I'm taking the Cardinals because they're the home team, and I just don't trust Detroit right now. I don't
trust Kyler Murray. Sorry.
I don't trust either team. This one's one of those coin flips.
Stafford's been there before. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He might not be great at it, but he knows what he's doing.
As long as he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
He's getting old. He's probably going to get hurt this week. Patriots, Steelers. Everyone's taking the Patriots.
None of us are high on Steelers right now.
Yeah. Show me something, Pittsburgh. Then I'll start taking you. I will say I did not take the Steelers in a lot of the games this year, so just saying you're in for a rough game or rough season this year. Saints over the Texans, unanimously picked, I believe, because of A, the Saints, and B, everything that is the dumpster fire called Houston Texans right now. Just lost Clowney, right?
Yeah.
And who was their running back? Miller.
Lamar Miller went down.
Is gone for the season. They did pick up. Who did they pick up?
We got Carlos Hyde.
Oh yeah, Carlos Hyde. See, I know they've done things. I just know I don't like it, so I don't listen. I don't pay attention that closely. Apparently, Broncos at the Raiders. I'm going Broncos because I'm still not buying what John Gruden's selling in Oakland for now. Maybe if they become the LA or Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me.
You're liking the Joe Flacco connection, huh?
Yeah, why not? He's got the hair, man.
I really don't think he's gonna have that bad of a year. I think it'll be like kind of like rejuvenate his career.
I think
honestly.
it's gonna
you
be
go to like a new place and all of a sudden, like it's not the same old.
He wasn't. Now, if you were to sit there and give me an option between Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco, I would take Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
If you were to give me whatever quarterback they threw out on the field last year as a Denver Bronco, I'm going to take Joe Flacco.
No, Joe Flacco's far and beyond better than any of the quarterbacks
I thought Flacco was overpaid. I didn't think he was a bad quarterback, though. I wouldn't mind him as a...
Oh, he got that huge payday after the Super Bowl win and just been riding that payday ever since.
And Corey's just hating because he's stuck with Dalton.
No, I think Broncos will definitely be improved. I just kind of waiting to see what I want to see what the Raiders, if they're as bad as I think they are, before I just write them off completely.
Non-primetime game, I would say you need to watch. Probably not just because I'm a Bucs fan, but be the Bucs 49ers game just because of what's at stake for both teams. Both teams, you don't really know what to expect with their new signings. The Niners are getting Garoppolo back, and they have Bucs former linebacker Quan Alexander, bastard. And then the Bucs with the new head coach. So I'm gonna make that the game of the week, even though we all took the Bucs. You get 2 points, right? If you get it right, so we'll make that one the game of the week. Why not?
All right. Gold it or something. Want me to gold it up?
Yeah, why not? I mean, unless you disagree. If you see something...
Oh, I'm fine, whatever you pick.
I feel like that to me, either that or the Giants-Cowboys, and let's not do that because that'd just be silly. Let's just go through... We agreed on so much of the games. I feel like we're on the same kind of wavelength. I think the only thing we disagreed was the Cardinals lines during those games. So.
Whatever.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
I mean, if you, as an Eagles fan, you should feel good that you're opening up against the Redskins. I don't even know who their starting quarterback is.
It's gonna be Case Keenum.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot they got him.
Case Keenum, and then Dwayne Haskins is waiting in the wings to take over.
God. How soon do you think they...
Which I should probably just snag him and stash him on my bench, but...
Yeah, right.
I don't really want to. I'll wait and see how Case Keenum does. It's the first week he looks awful, then I might do it, but...
When do you think the Redskins...
If decent this first week, I might hold off on doing it.
When do you think the Redskins pull the string on Keenum?
I mean, if they started off like 0-3, 0-4, I feel like it's it's definitely looking like it's Case Keenum's the issue. I could see them pulling after like 3 or 4 weeks, but if Case Keenum, I mean, if they're somewhat successful and they're like right around 500 or so, then they'll probably ride Case Keenum for most of the year. It all depends.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to draft Dwayne Haskins, and Corey picked him up just so nobody else could keep him, and then he dropped it immediately.
Wow.
It's like, you son of a bitch. I was literally going to pick him up with like my second to last or last pick, and then he just fucked it up.
I was really thinking he was going to do that with Daniel Jones with me. I was just like, like that would suck. Second to last pick.
Probably would have if he was still there.
He was. I took him with the second to last pick.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was just like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's where we're at this week. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm gonna spend all day Sunday watching. I got nothing else to do.
Dun 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 dun.
I'll finally have my new coffee table.
Ooh.
Get to pick that up tomorrow.
I was gonna say, you still haven't picked that up?
Oh, dude.
Didn't we talk about that?
I ordered that on June 26th.
I was gonna say, didn't we talk about this back in July? Like, I feel like July was when we talked about it last.
I swear they told me 4 weeks. 4 weeks and it'd be there. I called like 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Before I went on vacation. And they were like, oh, it's not in yet. They'll call you when it's in. And I go, of course. So like I was on like a week of vacation, and then the following week I was working like every single day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the week that they called me, and I was like, of course. And then they only do pickups on like certain days, like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday or something. I don't even know. Some bullshit.
Whatever works for them, not the customer.
Yeah. So then it finally did come in, but I was working, so I couldn't even go get it. And then I had to leave. Basically, I had to leave Thursday to go down to South Carolina. So then I was down there for 5 days. So then I just finally called today, and I was like, all right, I want to fucking pick up this coffee table. Like, just let me come get it, please.
Leave the keys under the rug. I'll lock it up when I'm done.
So apparently I can go pick it up tomorrow around noon. I'm very excited. So that'll be my Sunday. Sitting around watch football. Maybe I'll get Red Zone. Probably not Sunday. Definitely not getting a ticket. I would love. Maybe I'll get it next year.
Just do what everyone else does. Sign up for DirecTV and then cancel it after the NFL season, so you get your free year.
I don't even want DirecTV.
Yeah, but you get a free subscription to. I don't know the math. I'm not even gonna say.
No, I know.
But they have 4K content. I don't know. The NFL just needs to come up with their own streaming crap.
Right? Yeah. Why don't they have a streaming service yet?
Get with the times. You got MLB.TV, NHL.TV, NBA League Pass. Yeah, like, and I got
this sweet 60-inch TV. I just want to fucking watch football on it.
Let me give you money. Let me
let me give you my money. That's all I'm asking to do. No, I think you can. I don't think you have to get DirecTV to get.
No, I have the streaming service. I
was gonna say. I think I was looking and it said that you could like stream it now.
It's crap, but
it
gets the job done. Like, I think the best was, so I didn't get the big screen until like the last couple of weeks, so I didn't really get to play with it. But like watching 4 games, instead of doing like a quad screen, they have like one big picture and then they have 3 small teeny things at the bottom, and it's like, what's going on over there? Like,
this is with NFL Ticket.
Yeah. So hopefully they change that option, because I'm gonna be pissed if it's that way again.
Right.
Because
really, I would pay the $300 or whatever it is. Like, it's not that bad for like being able to watch any game you want all season long.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you sit there and get an alert that this game just went into overtime. So
Right.
you're just like, "Oop, switch over."
And you don't have to rely on the red zone.
Yeah, you don't have to sit there and go, "Don't cut, don't cut, don't cut."
Yeah,
don't cut,
exactly.
No quattro screen, no quattro screen. That was the worst. That one, that pissed me off the most was the Saints Bucks game got rain delayed when I had NFL Red Zone to the point where I think they were the only game on, and then at 8:20 they had to cut the stream because of some rule they have with the NFL. So it was just like
there's so many fucking different rules and bullshit. It's super annoying.
just missed out on a bunch of ad revenue. Jesus.
We want to look at our fantasy teams here or what?
Well, I got my team pulled up right now.
All right, so do I.
All right.
Right now.
Well, let's just say I went with an interesting strategy towards the end of the draft. I solidified what I thought was a decent core quarterback, running back, wide receiver combination. Just hoping to win ball games. According to each round I was taking, each person I took that round was like that area to our rules, not to overall. That's how I drafted.
Yeah.
And then at the end I just was like, all right, let's do a running back, wide receiver by committee. And so I picked up as much scraps as I could, running back and wide receiver wise.
Right.
I mean, there was a method to my madness because I was like, well, if Mariota, it's contract season for Mariota, let's pick up Corey Davis. He's a solid receiver. I can't even say his Nelson Aguilar there on your Eagles. I was like, all right, I've heard his name before. Why not? The Denver wide
solid years.
Yeah.
I would have probably grabbed him if he was around.
Mm-hmm. The one that I was like, I can't believe he's still around, but I get it because he doesn't have luck to throw to him, was Funches.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about losing out on free agency, because then he just signed with Indianapolis too.
I think so, yeah.
So it's like, hey, you're going to get passes thrown from one of the greatest quarterbacks. No, you get two former Patriot backups. And then I also took Peyton Barber because he's the starter right now for the Bucks as a running back, and if he heats up, I got him. Maybe I'll get a trade invite from a Bucks fan or something. I don't know. Maybe.
I haven't gotten any trade offers yet. You got any trade offers?
No.
No.
And then
I've only seen one trade go down too. So
I think my Daniel Jones pick is the interesting one out of me the most, just because I took him with my last pick. So if he ends up playing this year and I keep him next year, I got him for a lifetime of 27th round. So
22nd round,
whatever round, last pick. How about that?
We only did 22 rounds. I know that much for a fact.
My last pick is at least secured at that point because I got a plan for the future as well as. If not, and if Rivers comes back, then I'll just keep Rivers, whatever.
You should just keep Daniel Jones until he finally starts.
I want confirmation that Eli is retired before I keep Daniel.
Right.
I feel decent enough. I think early when we made the draft picks, I haven't looked at it since I was predicted to go 9-4, which I'm fine with.
We did the same, but I'm predicting to go as well.
So I mean, hey, that would get me a playoff spot at least, which is all I care about. I'll stick in the bottom division. I'll be a bottom feeder. I don't care.
Yeah, I had to. Obviously, I got my Carson Wentz pick there at 11. So It's always a decision I have to make. Do I want to go for another stud quarterback in the first round, or do I just take my chances? And I went with another quarterback.
So sorry, hate to interrupt, but remember how Colleen was predicted to go like 11-1 or whatever?
Yeah.
She's now projected 3-10, and I'm 8-5.
Oh jeez. What am I projected?
You are also 8-5.
Oh man, I lost a win somewhere. What the hell? Oh, bitch.
I am projected to go 4-2 in my division, so there's that.
Fuck.
Which team is Corey?
Did he change his team? Oh yeah, the crash. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Right.
Never know what he's fucking doing.
Well, he's projected 7-6.
That's does he have a kicker yet? Did he pick up a kicker?
I don't know. Hold on.
I know that was his like, oh, I was projected to not win that many because I didn't have a kicker.
Yeah, he picked up the Dallas kicker.
Yeah, so now they just don't think his team's that good. So, congrats. Sean's projected 12-1. I don't understand that.
He's also projected to have 2,000 points. The only team in the league. I am projected to be the second highest scoring team with 1920. Or no, third. Sorry, Corey's got the second highest for some reason. That's messed up.
Oh, Ryan has the second highest, 1950.
Oh, all right. There you go. 1950. Corey's third at 1922. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But neither does when we finish the end of the year either, so.
Okay.
I do like the 1 in 12.
At least they're giving Mark and Dan wins now, so that's nice. So that must be where it must project us to lose to one of them. That's why we lost a win.
Well, I'm gonna go check my schedule. You go.
Big Sean, wasn't Sean projected 11-2, or was he always projected 12-1? Projected 11-2.
I think it was 11-2.
Yeah, he must have gained a win somewhere. Interesting. There's no way Sean's winning all the division games. Come on. Not happening. Yeah, who's on crack right now?
Who is the Greenville Gold? Is that Corey's dad?
Yeah, that's the new.
Okay, I was just wondering why I had a rival 2 weeks in a row of someone I've never even played against. So, someone's got to be it. I guess I'm it. That's fine.
What? The rivalry is...
Rivalry week twice falls between our matchups. So it's just like, all right, whatever.
I wasn't looking at that matchup when I made the rivalry week.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. Like, I get how you decided it. I looked at the other ones, but I was just like, oh.
Right.
Well, it's not particularly just the rivalry week. It's just being...
Yeah. No, I always try to find, like, the couple good matchups that I like to see. Like, usually, like, me and Gary or me and Sean or Gary and Sean.
I do not like the way the projections are flowing right now. I'm going to lose all of my hair if it comes down to being this close. Because week 3, I'm losing 153 to 154.
Damn.
Week 4, I'm losing 146.17 to 146.92. What's it say against you? I think you are my bye week. Yep. You're one of my bye weeks.
Am I?
Yeah, you're projected 152. I'm 113.
Oh, that's what I thought you meant. Like I wasn't playing you this year.
Oh, no.
Ooh, it looks like I got Corey on his big bye week. He's projected 121 when I play him.
Yeah, I got Corey. I think Corey's just because he's don't call it a comeback, right? Or
no, that's
the crash.
Dave.
The crash. Sorry.
Where is the crash? I saw it already.
Sorry, I also got distracted by my week 12 matchup against Corey's dad. That's a real thriller, 96-92.
Yeah, my bad week's gonna be week 10 for sure. Which I don't.
You know,
like weeks,
I kind of like it being that late because I can decide if I have to make the moves or not. If I'm willing just to eat a loss. If I'm in the playoffs, I'll eat the loss versus having to play jungle gym.
Oh, like I'm not gonna go and just drop people just to get a fucking win. I'm alright with taking a loss.
I don't play Corey this year, I think.
Looks like I got my two top defensive guys, and OJ Howard and Odell Beckham week 7. It's great. The week I play Matt. All right, I got to pee real quick. I'll be right back.
Well, this is interesting. I don't play Corey. That's what ball is on deck. I just hate my goat. Don't call to come back. Ooh, well. Lucky for you, Corey. You don't have to face this. Kind of sad. Oh well. Alright. This time it's personal. Dogs most wanted. I didn't even know WGN was a network. Who knew? Alright, let's see here. Needless to say, Steffan's going to lose, I'm going to win, and he can't refute it. I will pick myself to win.
Yeah, so my big bye week is week 10. I played Corey's dad that week. I'm hoping that he just obviously he has Mahomes. I don't know who else he really has on his team, but kind of hoping that I can scrape by a win. I'm going to have both my quarterbacks out on bye, and then literally I think 7 other players that are in my starting lineup.
Nice.
Basically my whole team. And all I have for a quarterback is Case Keenum, which who knows if he'll even be starting in week 10. So that's why I'm worried about this. Should I pick up Dwayne Haskins? So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
So let's just say theoretically, I'm a dick, and I see he gets hurt. I'm watching the game. He gets hurt. And I pick up Haskins immediately.
Mm.
Is there a waiver process for that, or is it just first come, first serve at that point?
Well, if the games have started, so once the games start, that's when waivers starts.
All right.
So you wouldn't be able to pick him up right away. If you picked him up beforehand, before the game started, you'd be able to pick him up fine.
All right.
But yeah, that's if somebody goes down, you can't just pick them up. Pick up Dwayne Haskins. He'll be on waivers till that Wednesday or whatever. At least that's the way it's supposed to be. Pretty sure it's that way. Because I had to fix it because Matt was screwing around and picking up people for Monday night games or something.
Yeah.
And then he got all pissed off at me because he didn't think that I should be able to just change things without putting it to a vote first.
Ah, yes.
And I go, well, it's my league, and I'm kind of going to do what the fuck I want to do. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Suck it.
It was a pretty fun weekend with him. There was a lot of that talk going on.
I remember. The good times.
Funny thing is, I don't remember. I don't know if somebody got a video of it. I think he did like his best man speech or whatever, toast.
Yeah.
And he somehow brought me into it like multiple times. I don't even know why. I was like, what? I don't even know what is going on right now. But I think somebody got a video of it. I'll have to try to find it and send it to you. I don't even remember what exactly he said. I think it was something about like fantasy football plays, but
Probably. Of course, Corey doesn't have as strict rules as Steffan. I
did pick up Miles Sanders because I don't know. I drafted Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
But there's just so much talk about Miles Sanders probably being the number one back that I have to have both of them just in case.
I know Corey and I had talked about the tight end thing because he hates the tight end rule or whatever. And
the what?
The tight end.
Oh yeah.
And he mentioned the Giants tight end, and I was like, maybe I'll save him. And then I had him in my queue there to take him next, and then sure enough, Corey fucking took him. I was like, son of a bitch. I thought about it a round too late.
Right. Yeah, now both of them are talking. Corey and Matt don't like the tight end rule. And I made that fucking post. I said, if anybody has anything that they want changed, say it here and I'll make a poll. Nobody fucking said anything. I'm not just going to fucking, just because you tell me in private that you would like to see it change. Like, I just want people to fucking participate and just make, like, I don't want to just fucking do everything on my own. So I didn't make a poll for that one. I don't really care. It's not something I want. So I'm not going to be the one that puts the poll up. So we'll see. Matt was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll give it another year." Okay, Matt. Okay, Matt.
Okay.
I was already trying to find Matt's replacement this weekend too.
Why is this Matt's last year?
No. There's another guy, my sister's best friend's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I hang out with him, we just talk about football and shit. And we were hanging out a lot this weekend, and so I told him that he's already in like 3 leagues though, I think. Jesus. But I was like, all right, man, whenever spot opens up, I was like, you're in. But he doesn't like. There's something that he didn't like. Oh, he doesn't like our running back scoring rules. He doesn't like that it's 20 yards for a point.
You mean nerfed?
Yeah, he thinks that it should be 10 yards, and I was like, well, then that just makes all the running backs like
more powerful.
Ridiculous. I mean, I like it. I think that the running backs is otherwise our fucking scores would be well over 200 points. You know, I don't see any reason to. I don't know. Nobody else seems to complain about it either. So.
Yeah.
But he'll probably be next on the list if I lose anybody this next year. Matt's always on thin ice, so.
You hear that? You're on watch.
I do got to make a post to make sure everybody pays up as well this year.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I figured I haven't said anything about it. Some people have paid me, other people obviously I haven't said anything to anybody, so I wasn't expecting it.
I'll send you a nice, crisp, clean $20 bill. All right, you want to end this thing?
Let's do it.
All right. It's only been 1:45.
Yeah.
Let's not make it a 2-hour. Where is it? There it is. Oh, yeah. This time next week, NFL Talk. Week 2.
Can't wait.
Let's look at the schedule real quick here. Of course, My amazing computer is stalling. There we go. We got Browns Jets as a Monday night. Oh yeah, Bucks Panthers Thursday night. That sucks. Great.
Good way to start off your week.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we didn't cover UFC. Hold on. Up. I got picks. Where's the record stop? There we go. All right. I got picks. They're fresh. They're hot. As soon as I pull up the sheet.
Haven't even looked. It's gonna be on the fly.
Well, I gotta pull up the sheet, so I just got the text from Ben. That's what reminded me. I was like, yeah. Thanks, Ben. Thanks for not tuning in and knowing where we're at in the podcast.
Right.
All right, so let's see here.
Abu Dhabi.
Interesting. So the main event is Nurmagomedov Poirier. Nurmagomedov's a beast. I don't see him losing this one. Corey's going by decision. I don't even see it going to decision. I'm going knockout, but that's very rare for Nurmagomedov. But I think he's either going to finish in the third or going to knock out. I don't see this going to the ground. I don't think Poirier wants it to go to the ground. That's the only way he's got a chance. Sorry, my app closed here. So he is going Poirier by knockout in the fourth, which makes sense. That's the only way Poirier is going to win. He's not going to win on the ground. He's not a ground fighter.
Right.
So if he can manage to keep Khabib off the ground, it's just going to be whoop. Edson Barboza versus Paul Felder. I went with Barboza by decision because apparently I hate my life and don't want any points. No. Basically didn't do any research on these last four fights, really. I just kind of went by what I knew off the top of my head, and I know Barboza is a good fighter, and that's why I went with decision with him. Ben is going Felder by decision. And then he's got Makhachev. Second round submission. I have no input about these two. I recognize Ramos. That's why I picked him by decision. I've never heard of the other guy, so, and I can't even spell his name right apparently. So, and then we have Curtis Blades. Ooh, I should spell Blades.
I haven't heard of a lot of these guys.
I like Curtis. He's a young heavyweight, which is very rare these days. He's going knockout in the first. I'm going second. Blades usually takes a round or two to get his power going, so I don't see it happening in the first round. But yeah, probably knockout by Blades. I've never heard of the other guy, so, and neither has Ben. Ben did no research, he said. And then the last one, he took Diego Ferreira by decision. So, no research was really done on those last fights by my part. Corey may have had more to say. He's got 3 decisions, 2 knockouts, so that's interesting. The co-main and main event should be worthy of buying the pay-per-view. I will not be watching this, at least live, because it's going to be happening at 11 o'clock Pacific time in the morning. So
11 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's in Abu Dhabi, so I will not be participating in this. I will be at a birthing class. So.
Ooh, birthing class.
Yeah. Gotta get ready.
Just tell her to push. Then you just hold a leg or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. There you go. Your
feel
birthing class is over.
I feel like I'll get slapped. Alright. Steffan's going Nurmagomedov decision. Felder knockout in the third. Ramos decision. Blades knockout in the third. That would be a scary sight 'cause Blades doesn't have good conditioning. And Kuzmov by knockout in the second. Kind of piggybacking off of Corey's picks.
A little bit.
A little bit. And mine. Kind of nice little mixture. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
Just hoping for more than one.
I'll be happy. If I can pass Ben, I'd be really happy.
I'm just hoping for more than 1 point. We should come up with a rule that if you ever get a 0, you have to do something.
Yeah. Let's wait till Corey's on.
Yeah. Alright, always cool.
A-Town.
What about Matt Ryan?
Fuck that thing too.